Alright, so welcome back to Three Swords Gaming as we continue our Guild Wars 2 personal story playthrough. So what I did not include in the video portion is some more riffs. Now that did include a conversation with Camilla and Rian about Tier 2 riffs, and they give us the motivation, which is like the mechanism to create the Tier 2 riffs and Tier 3 riffs and so forth. And I'm not gonna try and go back and cut that in some way because I don't think it's necessary. There's a little bit of dialogue, but it's not really relevant to the story. It's more about gameplay. It's an introduction of a gameplay mechanism, and really doesn't have anything to do with the story at all. So I don't feel like we're missing anything by not having it. Instead, I want to go ahead and dive right into our next instance. And see if we can't. We might. No, I don't think we're gonna finish the story today, but we're gonna come pretty close. All right, we're at Bastion of the Obscure. We're gonna meet our allies here. Hey, it's Richik and Gladium, our favorite of the. Are they actually in the Wizard's Court? I think they're Astral Ward. I don't think they're in the Wizard's Court, but I could be wrong. I think the Wizard's Court was just like Dagda, Isgarin, Lear, Mabon. Who am I missing? Oh, the Kodan that wandered off a long time ago, and like one other person. There's 6 of them, right?
Wayfinder, Zizzle called on Urchik and Glade to assist you in the Bastion of the Obscure.
I'm not sure what we're even looking for.
Oh, what does Glade mean by that? Glade can sense something. She's not sure what, but she thinks it's Mabon. I don't know what it is, but I trust her always.
Let's see what we can find.
I don't remember any of this. This is going to be fun because I don't remember. All right. Let's see what it is that Glade senses that's going to help us, presumably.
Spirit is saddened to see these halls empty. No astral ward. Only the smells of fighting and fear.
That is a coffin with a picture of somebody. Very hard to see. Oh, and a spear. It almost looks like it could have been Cormier, right? With like that's very like nightfall-y. That's an upside down skull. Ooh, cool stuff. That's like this all has a very Path of Fire or Nightfall feel to it. It's interesting. Pile of Riches. I want the Pile of Riches. Cannot get to the Pile of Riches. Disappointing. What is that inside of? Like a... Oh, it's underneath the statue. Okay. There's a cow. It's a brown cow. Cow doesn't do anything. Is this supposed to be like the same cow that was appearing during... So there was a like a side story for a while about a Char who was like randomly like going in and out of these rifts in the mists and popping up, and it appeared that it was like anachronous in nature as well, like they were out of time. And there were other things being dragged along with them, and I think like the brown cow maybe is supposed to be part of that. Like, were the wizards tied to that, or were they tracking it, or what's the story there? We don't know. We don't know. And I wasn't one of the people who was like way into that side story, so I don't. Is this like a tiny little like throne thing with a rat on it? We can't see. Yeah, there's a rat there. King rat. Rat king. What is that from? Isn't that like a pop culture thing? I don't remember. Some book or something.
Is it just me, or am I amazing?
Glade's found something.
Where? What'd you find, Glade? Wait, are there more things to see, Glade? I want to see... Oh, that's just back out of there.
Oh, tragedy. Scrape hates to see so many good friends lost. Hates it.
Oh, who's that?
It never gets easier. I know.
Urchik doesn't smell anything besides death, Glade. Let's continue the search.
Oh, well, that was not good. Glade, I thought you were onto something. That was not something we wanted. That's deeply unfortunate. Oh, and a whole bunch more. Lots of death here, Glade. And of course, like the blindness thing that we see around our screen, this right here, is Richik.
Tactics. But Glade is a good leader. You sick? Strength of the pack. You'll have to hit much harder.
We're having a little bit of a hard time here. Oh, and we lost our pet. Sadness. I need to get out of these AoEs. I'm not doing myself any favors. Alright, buddy, you're the only one left. Bad news for you. Glade, what's going on?
Scrape recognizes this. It's one of the housings that Mabon used for his most valued artifacts.
But no artifact. Do you think the cryptus got to it?
Uh-oh.
No, this way. Glade says it's nearby.
Alright. Hurry up, Glade. So this thing about the artifacts and like searching these halls and they're full of mysterious things, there's a lot of open world stuff where that is the case as well. In fact, there are some events in the open world that grant us like access to weird areas where there are weird things that feels like it has every bit the payoff of like instances like this. There's one
It wants you to pick it up, Wayfinder. It wants you.
well, that's weird. It wants me. Okay, so there's one. Ooh, I think it's down here where I still haven't been on this particular character. Where you go into like an underground area with Yuno, and it's like a forbidden artifacts area, and it's super weird. And then you fight like a mysterious energy down there, and then Yuno's like, screw this, we're out. Things are too weird down here. Really fun event for just exploring like how bizarre this expansion can be, which feels so good after like so much of like the same stuff over and over. And I, you know, Guild Wars 2 was supposed to be the dragon story, so I didn't dislike the dragon story, but like getting away from that and getting away from the old characters and into like this really weird, interesting, obscure, secrecy obscure, right? But like stuff that's supposed to be like arcane and separate from like all the stuff we already know. We know about the ley lines. Done with the ley lines. The Gaiala Delves thing didn't add anything in my opinion. It was not rewarding. But this kind of stuff does feel rewarding. What do we got? Special artifact.
Why'd you stop fighting back? It's not worth it. Killing you. Abyssal, without bloodlust. How humble you are. I'm honest. I don't blame you for hating me. I don't blame your fear. My kind is killed for less. I am ashamed.
Wayfinder! Scrape needs you to open your eyes.
I'm open. My eyes are open. Alright, so I believe what we're meant to perceive there, unless I'm just way off base, is the genesis of the relationship between Mabon and Isgaren, which helps us further appreciate like the character that Mabon was, and maybe give us some background on Isgaren as well. So it appears that in terms of the fight or conflict there between Mabon and Isgaren, that Isgaren was actually the aggressor, that he was trying to defeat Mabon in some way. Mabon was not fighting back. And that's kind of been mentioned a number of times throughout the story that that Isgaren is willing to engage in violence when deemed appropriate or when it appears to be necessary.
We heal as one. You sick? I'll break you down. Wither.
Are you okay, Commander?
I am. I was downed, but my boy Gladium got me up.
But I
Or
heard
my gal.
Mabon. Isgaren was... I don't know what it means. They were fighting.
Who was fighting?
Mabon and Isgaren. Mabon sounded different. Maybe he hadn't ascended yet. I'm not sure.
Urchik has heard of stranger things in the Bastion of the Obscure. Glade and Skrit will return to Zizzle. Let him know what we discovered.
All right. I'm gonna rest for a moment.
Alright. Let's rest for a moment.
I've only heard Isgaren's voice once before, when I was very little. Curious to see what a pinch of Cryptus possession has done to his mind.
I don't think I'm looking forward to it.
Watching you fumble your way through things is exciting, but I should at least prepare the meat for slaughter.
Not worried, are you?
Only for myself. I'd be missing out on the feast of the decade, should my brother put you down.
Your brother?
No, Ceres never knew how to play nicely. I worry that all he'll leave behind are blood and scraps of your flesh.
Seems like a detail you could have shared sooner.
What difference would that have made, other than to elicit a little more fear? Ceres is no Evoc, but he is terrifying in his own special way. He's circled you this whole time, watching, waiting. As soon as his task is complete, you'll be next.
And what is that task?
You're on the right path. Don't fret.
So presumably that task is to, like, turn Isgaren or something like that. We'll have to see, because I genuinely don't remember, and we'll have to see kind of what comes of all that. So we do get a lot more from Patha there in terms of understanding what is, I don't want to say what's going on, but like,
Commander, it's time.
oh, okay, Zoja.
We know where Isgaren is.
I'm with you.
Yes, so in terms of putting all the characters in the right place. What, Patha?
You're calling me that now?
What should I call you? You're no commander to me.
Fair.
I like the wizards and their little words. Wayfinder is more exciting. The one you're looking for is Garen. He's just there.
From everything I've gathered about him, I'm hoping it would take more than a Cryptus to bring Isgaren down.
I'm more worried for you than Papa. Just be cautious and hold something more at the back of your mind.
So kind of a throwback to earlier when we were doing some of the like the exorcisms or driving away some of the possessions or whatever, and like warm thoughts, pleasant thoughts of like people close to you were influential in being able to like counter the possession. We kind of get that again here from Patha, in terms of like using it as a defense. All right, so let's go here. Worldspire. Like, I mean, obviously, isn't that where Isgaren should have been? It's kind of his thing, right? Oh, look, everyone's here and have already put down a bunch of enemies. Speak with Zoja when we're ready to begin. Well, first, let's speak to this check in with other members of your team. I intend on doing exactly that. Hey, guys, it's Sizzle, also known as Zizzle, and Galrath the Undying.
Perhaps we'll meet during more polite weather, Wayfinder. Do I long for the days where Isgaren's greatest fear was Dagda's cooking?
As much as I'd like to jest.
I know. Let's think on the brighter side of things, just for a moment.
Alright, alright. My favorite duo, Richik and Gladium.
Oh, Skrit is so glad to see the commander.
And I'm glad to see Skrit.
The Wayfinder. Urchic means. Apologies. Skrit is scared. The scout said that they heard screaming. Oh, Glade. Urchic doesn't know what Skrit would do without you. You'd be just fine if something happened to Skrit, but Urchic? Skrit doesn't want to know life without Gladium.
I find Richik's like honesty, like emotional honesty, would be very enjoyable.
I thought our days of adventuring were done. I've quite settled on the idea of watching the world from the tower.
You? Glad to do management work? You've changed since Radasum.
I never said I don't appreciate a good fight. So long as it's a good one.
Well, if not good, this will certainly be exciting.
Alright, so we've checked in with everyone. We are ready to go. Let's go ahead and take care of this before our experience doesn't get wasted. Zoja, Dagda, Lear, we're ready.
Wayfinder.
Wayfinder.
Isgaren built it himself, when the world was still run by nature and beasts.
Sizzle, do you still sense him inside?
I do. I can hear the scraping of claws, movement, echoes, cold, cryptis, and...
Then we better hurry.
Your miry companion was right. The veil is parted.
What do you mean?
Say something, Wayfinder?
Nothing. Thought I heard something.
Are you okay?
Careful.
I'm fine.
Okay, fine.
Eyes up!
I'll break you down! They'll have to hit much harder.
Do they seem stronger?
They've been eating well.
We're down a wizard. Don't let them get an edge.
I agree with our little light. Move forward with shields high.
So interestingly, they don't seem stronger, actually, compared to some of the other fights we've been in. That's actually not all that bad. But just the same, serious business. Well, why would we choose a veteran? We can choose not a veteran.
Something will break you down! They'll have to hit much harder.
I guess that didn't really help us anyway. Alright, what we got going on? Tiny little tormented. Avatar rage.
Feel the fury. Time to do some real damage. You sick? Feel the fury.
He's coming. Quickly, tell me a fond memory.
So we got some options here. Quickly, tell me a fond memory. I'm kind of glad there's not a timer defining quickly, because it's nice to look and see what our options are. Maybe that'll pop up here in a second. Irene when she was young, good times with friends, victory and glory, gathering with everyone at Arborstone, memory of a time with Zoja. So Zoja has been such a prominent part of this expansion. Let's go ahead and go with Zoja. I haven't tried all these. I don't know what they all say, but Zoja sounds good.
Seeing Zoja after all this time. Seeing her happy. Healthy.
Keep that close. You'll need the wand to escape souls.
Commander, are you okay?
Zoja, I promise I'll explain, but now is not the time.
Is one of them in there?
Not at the moment. No.
Who was that?
Oh, so can Zoja hear Patha now? Where? All right, Lear just jumping ahead. He's got no time for our internal issues. So a couple of interesting things. One, or can Zoja now hear her? And two, is Patha's intent at some point to possess us, or is this just Patha's usual, like, you know, almost like she finds it enjoyable that we have these concerns about her intentions? Like, we'll have to see. And I think really we're gonna have to wait till the next release to really understand more about Patha. But we probably will get some more here during that. Oh, it's Scar.
What are you doing here?
Scarin, it's us.
Sounds like you got a heck of a cold, friend.
One fate awaits everyone.
Not Iskarin.
After him.
All right, after him. Let's go. Oh, there he is. Who would have saw that coming?
Come here.
Scarin, we're here to embrace you.
Oh, it looks like you've got plenty of help without my hand.
Maban made a choice when they brought the Wayfinder in, and I didn't agree at first. However,
Maban's optimism got him killed. Unfortunate, but not blameless.
you speak of our friend with disdain? You've been here, compromised.
Interesting that it wasn't attacking us, and so I went and attacked. Like, I wonder how long we could have just stood there. Was I just not in, like, aggro range, or would it have just stood there until we chose to attack? And if it was necessary for us to attack, is that a setup for something later where we make an observation about, like, the commander's true nature, right? If the commander is the one who attacks. Alright, purge corruption.
Whatever that thing is, strike it down before it returns to his body.
Alright, so is this like the core of hatred that was making him so bitter, I guess? Oh, does the fight continue? The fight continues? Why is it... Is Garn relatively easy compared to some of the other fights? Interesting balancing, I guess. Alright, we're going to get another core. Presumably we get another core. I really don't remember. I've only advanced this far in the story on my main account. I played through it in a little bit of a hurry.
I can sense his rage inside of that swirl. Don't let it return to him.
They'll have to hit much harder.
Ooh, that AoE was a bit of a surprise.
Clear the air.
Push back, Iskarin.
What? Do you need my power now? Why not look to your new wayfinder?
To take an axe to Maban's memory, we need to keep up with him.
Do you think he's...
He's not in his right mind. Something's off. He's... You know Iskarin. He can be cavalice, but not uncivil.
He's headed straight for the source. We can't lose track of him.
I legit have no idea what cavalice means. I do know that was, like, bizarrely childish. Like a weird, like, jealousy thing. What, your new girlfriend not hanging out with you tonight? Like, who? Alright, Isgarn. Go ahead and be that guy. Yes, no, we can all see them, Searcher. Thank you.
I'll break you down. They'll have to hit much harder. You sick? We heal as one. Time to do some real damage.
Clutch that memory. Don't loosen your grasp.
Does that imply that we're very close now to Saris? Or what is it? What is it that we're close to that we need to hang on to that memory?
Stray Commander. Do you think you're helping them? Do you think you're doing anything by causing more pain here?
Don't let him get to you, Wayfinder.
Maban chose to trust me, and you can too. I may not be a wizard.
You brought the world to the brink of ruin. Do you realize if you hadn't killed Zaitan,
Did you not see what the Elder Dragons destroyed with every cycle? The lives they ruined? You didn't witness the terror they wrought firsthand. You hid.
there is a line, and you don't see it. But how could you? I exist at the edge. You scurry below.
Alright, well, he definitely attacked this time. So I don't necessarily... Ooh, he's got a meteor shower. That's fun. I don't... So it's like the thing about like the commander is like the source of trouble because the you know, like I've talked about that so many times, right?
You couldn't fathom.
I think they can. And they've saved it just the same, Dusty Codger. Collect yourself.
Reaction. This is all the product of a reaction. Your emotional decision.
Feel the fury.
So you know, like you know, don't punish a player for the plot line you wrote. But I do like the way they frame it, if that makes sense. Right? Where Isgaren is able to see things in a way that we can't, understand things in a way that we can't. That's what like this all-powerful wizard should be packaged as. So I quite like that, even if I don't like what has become like a very sorry Guild Wars 2 trope at this point about like, oh, the commander's making things worse.
See what I've seen, and maybe you'd start to understand.
Strength of the pack.
Your eyes have flashed parades and songs, celebrations to honor the blood you spilled. Sit in the shadows for a while. Would you save the world if no one saw you do it?
Yes, of course. They'll have to hit much harder.
Probably not a fair question, honestly. The commanders, while the commanders demonstrated a lot of ridiculous things, the commanders never demonstrated that, like, ego was at the center of what they were doing. But it's worth noting, Isgaren saw the, more than one dragon cycle, which means Isgaren has the perspective to know that the world recovers from a dragon cycle.
Get out of this world! Stay away from this place. We follow.
He will hear us, Wayfinder.
You know what this reminds me of is a story instance where you shut down the Temple of Lys in Or.
The higher the tower, the longer the fall.
Be as stubborn as you like, but we aren't going to abandon you, whether or not you disparage your friends.
The Wayfinder has fought with us. They were there for Maban when you weren't. Curator.
Mabond. He...
I'll break you down.
Time to do some real damage.
Interesting questions about the appearance of possessed Isgaren here. A moment ago when we were looking, note that like he has an indeterminate number of eyes. I hate it when players suggest that things that definitely don't need to be brought back into the game should be brought back into the game. Like it's such a turn off, and like it feels so silly. Having said that, there is a very Abaddon-like look to that when you look at Isgaren there and you see like the indeterminate number of eyes. It looks very much like the Mask of Abaddon. That would be really, really disappointing. And it almost would like speak to the fact that ArenaNet just can't help themselves sometimes. And I really believe that. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know why that happens to them, but
Gather that magic up quickly.
it causes me concern. When I look at that, what am I supposed to do with this? Throw essences to move the...
There we go. Warm your bones.
It's working.
Oh, it moves faster? Oh, more.
Feel the fury. Strength of the pack.
Where's one of these was an elite? Where did the elite go? Oh, that's it.
Feel the fury.
They'll have to hit much harder.
You're moving, Isgaren. So given the distance we got, we'll have one more, two more? Eesh.
Feel the fury.
Time to do some real damage.
Wither.
the
Feel
storm.
the fury.
My faith was as broken as my body, but you took me in. Let someone else play protector for once.
It is weird that once again, like, we are being put on the same plane as Isgaren. And, you know, like this time by all these people at once. I don't want the commander to be that. I don't want the commander to be, like, a legendary... And we're already going to be because of the dragon cycle and everything else. But, like, do we have to continue to, like, make it worse and worse? You know, until the commander is just, like... And that happened with the character in Guild Wars 1 as well. Where the Guild Wars 1 commander became, like, a legendary hero that was, like, prophesied about and stuff. In part because of the Ascension process. Which they may be working towards here. They may be working towards a suggestion where the commander... because thus far we haven't done that, in spite of all the things we achieved. Including, like, the mock ascension we went through in the German Priory in season... What was that, 2? Yeah, it was, like, season 2. Ooh, but again in... Or no, was it season... Anyway, definitely in yeah, it was...
Please.
Yeah, anyway. We haven't actually ascended, and maybe they're working towards that.
Oh, much worse.
No, it's someone else.
How do you silence?
Alright, so we've established, like, a hierarchy, right? We got Ceres, and then we got Eparch, and then we have no inkling of anyone above Eparch until now, when Lear says, who is it? Eparch, and Pathos says, much worse. So I'm not sure, is that suggesting that there is a force above Eparch in this, like,
I don't want to hold
crisis?
up on a pedestal, but we can't lose it.
If we bring down the
Dagda and I will
spire...
try to expel whatever or whoever has their claws in it.
Zoja, Wayfinder, you two need to keep him distracted.
I'm with you.
Astral Ward, ready yourselves.
Alright, Zoja. Let's do this, I guess.
Omnitas is a place
I'll
of
break you.
I know. Your spirit
this place for a century to watch.
life gives so little to you mortals.
Okay, so we see some of our comrades around, like, the exterior here, defending us from other Cryptus, and we're directly engaged with Isgarn here, and then we got Lear and Dagda who are, like, trying to... Oh, bummer. Trying to go through the, where is Zoja? Through the process of, like, the exorcism itself. Oh, I'm getting wrecked.
We heal as one. I could outrun us. Set time to do some real damage. We heal as one.
Let the steam
They'll have to hit much harder. Come here.
let go.
Wayfinder, get behind me.
Why am I getting behind you? Nope, big old rift. No point in fighting it. Like, pretty obvious we're gonna go through it. Oh, back to Naos, which is the, like, the demonic place, right? The demon home.
Really tired.
Oh, there's Isgaren.
Manifest yourself sometime, Wayfinder.
Oh, is Patha gonna help us? And look, Isgaren looks more Isgaren-ish.
Niles. Isgaren, the curator. You're the one that's been toying closer to me.
Okay.
He was an idol too. Oh, how would your kind say it?
Feel the fury.
What's up, Iskaran?
You need to face him alone. His dream. I can't. Just over there.
I don't know if I...
If I can give you just enough to move. That's what happens when you fight back. Stop.
Iskaran!
And then there's you.
All right. So what's happened there is Iskaran gave us some of
People have died because of you and your king.
some of his power, which allows us. So last time we were involved in this fight, we got defeated because Saris like paralyzed us, and so we couldn't avoid his attacks, and he finished us, right? So now that Isgarin has given us this power, we are no longer subject to that. Like, that's no longer like a limiting factor for us, and so now we can fight Saris face to face.
I don't have enough energy. They'll have to hit much harder.
Ah, I didn't have any dodges.
Tried. And yet you failed. Again.
Oh,
But this time, your friend won't be able to save you. Killing the masked wizard was treacherous. But when he stumbled, I was already crouching.
You killed Mabon?
One of my dearest comrades.
ooh, poorly timed.
They'll have to hit much harder.
Wizard's pain. It was nectarous. I could open the doors gone for the breath of a moment. Long enough for you to witness the act. But not long enough to act.
I'll break you down. Wither. Rip 'em up. We heal as one.
Really poorly
They'll have
timed.
to hit much harder.
Now I'm in a bit of a spot.
I'll break you down.
I fight many heroes from many worlds. And you were among the most interesting.
I could smell your new friend through the veil. Righteous, yet diminished.
Peter,
Tell me, who is your latest snare?
the champion of an elder dragon. Isgaren's resolve was succulent, but this one has tasted the end.
And what do you plan on doing with your new champion? Take them to the king?
I have not decided. The wizard was Eparch's prize.
So, you plan on killing them yourself?
You're very inquisitive, sister.
Oh, not at all. I'm pleased. I should thank you for saving me the effort. Your honor died with Deimos. Epoch is foolish. And so are you.
Down one more time, Peter.
Get up. My brother is vain and dull, but he will kill us both
Feel the
if we give
fury.
him an opening.
If we get out of here,
Talk later.
replenishing.
We should have given you to Labrys to eat.
All right, so there are some references here to lore that's specific to like Raidwing, and so if you don't raid, and I don't, then there's some stuff that may and there's stuff that may be a little bit like lost on you.
Traitor.
Only to Epoch, not to Nios.
That is hysterical.
Wither. Feel the fury.
Now, it's still, definitely for me at least, it's still unclear what exactly Patha's game is. And we will get more after the fact as well that talks about that. But there it is, you know, it's hard to know how much of it is,
I can't see. We heal as one.
how much of it is her posturing with Ceres and how much of it is genuinely of concern to us.
replenishing.
Feel the fury.
Kill it before they join.
Wither.
Doing my best, Patha. Not very good at this game, you know.
They'll have to hit much harder.
I feel like there's something I should do with this. Oh, Malicious Shadow. I didn't see it there before.
And what are you?
Replenishing.
No. To see. And Epoch watched.
I imagine the payoff on this is like great for people who did play the raid and quite enjoyed it. Because this will all like tie together for them. Oh, you know what? Let's get this away from the center platform this time.
Time to do some real damage. I'll break you down.
Replenishing.
Alright, I don't see my malice. Where's my malice? Oh, there it is.
I just want to stop
Feel
you
the
and
fury.
You must share their pain.
Wither.
So there are some indications here that Patha's intentions are to
Feel the fury.
to somehow like protect the the demon realm from kind of like screwing themselves over in some way with their actions. Stop Eparch from making some sort of critical mistake in his interaction with mortals or something that's going to be a problem. Why am I not doing any damage? That's kind of annoying.
Time to do some real damage.
I'm missing a trick somewhere.
I'll break you down.
Ah, there was a problem. I need to use special action key.
We heal as one. Clear the air. Wither. Feel the fury. We heal as one. Clear the air. I'll break you down. Replenishing. Feel the fury. Wither.
What now? Oh, we're gonna use our magic thingy? What does that even mean? What do you mean, Patha? Alright. Is Garen, you still, you're not dead? Patha? What's up?
It would seem I placed my bet on the right champion. Well fought, Wayfinder.
I don't know if we would have survived that without you.
Likely not.
Perhaps not. We shouldn't tarry here too long. Epoch is likely watching.
Are you coming, Isgaren? Are we... I assume we're going somewhere? You want to go?
This rift will lead us to the tower. I'm sure they like their wizard man.
Right?
I have something to ask of you.
Who are you?
Oh, I like this one.
Thank the spirits, they've got his Garin.
See, just fine.
Ah, that's about how tall I expected the Wayfinder to be. I think.
Someone explain to me what this dove wreck is doing here.
I do not want to see this place in ruins over something petty.
Are you well? How is your mind? Is your power... your head?
I am home.
Wasn't sure you'd make it out of that one.
Nor
I need to connect you to one of the celestial strands. If someone could get my needle.
I could use some water.
But you don't need...
It reminds me that I'm still alive. More importantly, we have questions to answer. I would very much like to talk to you, Patha.
Oh, and you, Your Highness.
No titles. Not in my home.
Oh. Curious.
Let's take this somewhere more private. We needn't stress anyone else with that conversation.
Commander, I have something to discuss with you.
Okay, so I don't know. So whatever Patha's intentions are, or what she is or is not, it is interesting because we also don't know what Isgarin is, right? And she refers to Isgarin here as Your Highness, and it doesn't appear to be completely tongue-in-cheek, as he does not, react to it like it's tongue-in-cheek or react to it like it's sarcasm. He reacts to it with saying, "No titles in my house, please," or "No titles, not in my home." So, in some way, Isgarin does in fact merit the title of Your Highness. I have, and actually still stand by my assessment that he's probably forgotten. But they were snaky, and he's not snaky. Or Sears. Am I thinking Sears? I don't know. What is he? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking Sears. Were they floaty with forearms? I think they were. But could he be from like that same demon realm? I don't know. Like we got a lot to find out, and we're not going to find out for at least 3 months, maybe more. So we're just going to have to be patient. Zoja, you also are going to have to be patient.
I'm so glad you're okay. When we woke up, the sky was...
Everything okay, Zoja?
Come on, Shaman. Let's give them a minute.
You just... let me talk for a minute, please. In order to connect to the flow and access the magical ecosystem, there's a ritual. It makes your memories fuzzy, the personal ones. At least, you've probably heard about that, unfortunate side effect. When I thought you and Isgarin were dead, I just... And now I feel very selfish for humoring the idea at all. I mean, won't I be doing the same to you? If I choose to ascend, won't I be leaving you behind? Destiny's Edge? I just...
Zoja, I'm not going anywhere. Neither are you. Complicated wizard spells or no, you found a family. You aren't alone.
I won't remember much of our past together. And our friends can't know I'm here. Not yet, anyway. I'll be isolated and...
We'll figure that out. But it doesn't mean that I can't be friends with whatever version of you I meet on the other side.
You're a good friend, Commander.
Oh, someone back?
Go ahead, Wayfinder.
Are you okay, little light?
Better clarity is all. I'm okay. Really, Dagda.
So I do assume, and I may be wrong, but at this point I am assuming that Zoja is going to go through the ascension process at some point in the Secrets of the Obscure timeline at some point this year. Or in the year of the Secrets of the Obscure releases. So in the next 3 releases after this. I wouldn't be surprised if they find a way to like write it in where she still remembers the commander and their relationship because it's just that important. And they have already kind of set the table for that, where Lear remembers certain things, Dagda remembers certain things. Their memories are largely erased, but maybe not like completely gone. She even described the process making your memories fuzzy. That's kind of how I expect it to play out, but we will see. Oh, look, it's Patha and Isgarin.
I realize this.
Wayfinder, I'd have preferred to welcome you to our home myself, but Laban had other intentions. You spared him. Unfortunately, our troubles are not over.
As I have never had the chance, I am Patha of House Nephos, though houses and titles But in my world, it carries weight. We'll need that. Just because we've felled Zerus does not mean this fight is well and done. The opposite seems to be true.
You use language that suggests an alliance.
Let me pose this to the Wayfinder wizard. Epoch is alive and well. Thriving, even. On the backs of my kind.
Societies limp under poor leaders and recover like clockwork.
Epoch is not comparable to Tyrian leaders. He does not simply drain them of wealth or land. He has taken to eating them.
He's feeding on other cryptids?
Our blood is his blood. And eventually, we will be dissolved.
And that is tragic.
Killing Epoch is a mutual goal, Iskarin.
I don't meddle in foreign politics, Lady Petha. Letting him devour your entire people, while upsetting, could ultimately help Tyria. Can't start another invasion without bodies, can he?
But he can come here himself and do the same to this world. And he is quite fond of it.
I've turned away many beings from outside, especially after the gods and the damage they wrought. I have also neglected to ask for help, and to accept it when I've needed it most. Wayfinder? Thoughts?
Huh. Do I have thoughts? Okay. Oh, so Isgarn has a very interesting portrait, which does he looks a little like Voldemort. Does he look a little bit like Voldemort? All right. And if we take a look at him, yeah, interesting. And you can see there are differences. Like they didn't exactly use Jin. Like they did reskin some things, so he does appear different. Look at those fingernails. Dude needs to trim his fingernails. It is interesting. Okay. So I think what they're trying to paint Pytha here through Pytha's dialogue here is that the demons are not well, we view them in like the classic demon sense of like representatives of evil or whatever, that they are more like a race on another plane, and that they also deserve to like live their own lives or whatever. I mean, I guess I'll buy it for $1. Can Petha be trusted? So none of Petha's dialogue really suggested that we can trust her. Not a fan of this. But I guess we can go with, do we have any other choice? Like, because we don't want Eparch coming here, apparently, is what we're being told.
It doesn't sound like we have much of a choice.
I promise. No deception.
The Astral Ward needs to recover before we take action. But I'm not opposed to hearing a plan.
Your air is a delicacy to breathe. And I could use that indulgence.
Wait, Petha has a way of speaking, doesn't she? Alright. So we can speak with Petha. Where's she going? She's running off, though. Bye, Petha. Can we also speak to Isgarn? No? Apparently not. He's got, like, the speaky thingy on him, but he doesn't apparently have anything to say. Excuse me, Petha, I'm going to kill this Spark. Alright, feel much better about things now. Sparks make me nervous. We gonna come over here and have, like, this private conversation, like, right next to Astronomer Sonia? Hey, I guess we are. Okay. No, not the Dust Mites, Petha.
I trust that Iskarin will help where he's able. But now, I want to ask you. You You have saved your home world more than once. And now, I am asking you to help save mine.
Wanna walk me through the plan?
For now, I just need you. The Cryptus would be overwhelmed if too many of Isgaren's people came through. But if you come in with me and help rally support, we can prepare them for the push against Ebark.
Do you think they'll trust me?
Far more than they trust their king. And I need them to trust me.
Then I'll go with you.
Good. I'll leave you to your friends, Wayfinder. I'm sure you've much to discuss.
Alright, so oh my gosh, look at all these. Oh, wow. Alright, we got a lot of people I guess we're going to talk to. So let's get started. So I guess we're going to go into like this demon underworld. What was it called? Nyos? And create an insurgency there. I could see where that has the potential to be really fun and interesting and compelling, and where Secrets of the Obscure just continues to be great. I also see the potential for it to be really stupid. So I hope they do a good job with that, because it'd be a shame with Secrets of the Obscure off to such a good start for it to suddenly turn into like a really hokey, stupid, kind of more season 3 kind of thing. We don't want that. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Patha, you got more to say? You wear an expression of curiosity. It's not an unattractive look on you. Do you desire something particular from me? So you weren't a ravenous demon waiting to kill me yourself. I'm not sold on this. I will not be sold on this until, like, Secrets of the Obscure is done, probably. But okay.
Of course not. The emotions of your people may smell of wine, but your flesh is not for me. I first tasted your aura quite some time ago. I didn't know it was you then, but you died, and then came back. I felt that ripple, even if it was brief. There are many realms that linger near yours. I assume they felt it too. When you fell into Ceres's trap and first came to Nyos, I felt that ripple again. Your life has been precarious. Besides, I needed you alive.
Right. Well, so this is did this just get answered then? Why did you save me?
At first, it was simple curiosity. Ceres was not wrong. You are a delicacy to us. Ceres also angers so easily. I couldn't miss the opportunity to throw a stone into his pond. But then I saw what you could do. I felt what you had done. We may be born of different rules, but strength recognizes strength. And helping me kill Ceres proved all that I needed.
Alright. And you don't feel bad about that?
Ceres and Deimos were always horrible. Ebark encouraged that. He raised them to follow his orders and to consume. At least Deimos had the slightest bit of reservation. But even he was too focused on bloodlust. Managed to wiggle past Isgaren's barriers, only to get trapped and killed. Ceres never stood as tall as our brother. Not in Ebark's eyes. He tried, but death was his fate. And dying by your hand was a far kinder fate than my epochs. So no, I do not mourn him. I mourn the brothers I never had.
All right. Thanks for the conversation, Pytha. So, I guess Deimos was also a brother to her, and that is the one from... Oh. High Cryptus and Low Cryptus possess differing internal biological systems, resulting in the High Cryptus increase size and strength. Okay. Oh, that is the hypothesis. Now, that would explain why we get, like, Cirrus and Pytha here, who are also more humanoid in appearance than, like, the monsters at Low Cryptus. So maybe there's something to that. I was actually thinking about that a while back when I was playing. Iskarin.
You're my new wayfinder.
I guess so.
I am. And you're the one we fought through an army of Cryptus to save?
I am.
Iskarin,
Very informal for someone who's never met me.
Sorry. I've heard so much about you.
I don't care what you call me. Iskarin is comfortable. He is comfortable. But I've been called many names. And all of them are as true as this one. I've lived many lives. And I haven't always looked like this. You've always been a mystery to me. You first caught my eye in your pursuit of Zaitan. I started to piece it together.
You've been watching? Why didn't you help?
It's not my job to interfere with nature. The path unfurled as expected. You're alive. Most of your friends are alive.
Most of them?
Oh, calm. Life is death, and things could have been far worse, I promise. I do want to thank you, Wayfinder. Your aid was clearly needed here. And will be needed as you march with your friend.
Okay, you still got more to say? So, Seers. Okay, so I got it right on the second try. I was off on the Forgotten. They were more snaky. This Forgotten looked like Crate. He is a Seer. Is that correct? Yes, he is a Seer. Okay. Would not be surprised if I was the only one you'll ever meet. Mabone and I were both birthed by stubborn beings, and like the Tyrian Mersat, my kind are all dead. Except... Oh, would not be surprised if I was the only one you'll ever meet. Okay, so is he the last Seer? Was Mabone the last Mersat? Are the Mersat gone? I have a sneaky suspicion neither are gone, but we are sorry, though. We didn't age well. We lived a very difficult existence. Barely spent my adolescence among them. I parted from the Horde after... We once tried to fell the dragons, the elder races of Eteria. The Seer, Doyen, Sidoni cried for war. But just before we were to aid the Mersat in their attack on Zaitan, Sidoni decided against it. So that would naturally drive a rift, I assume, between the Mersat and the Seers. Yeah, the Mersat never forgave us. And I empathize with that. They returned to bone, scraps, and bile. But they would hunt us for thousands of years after. A few hundred of them for all of us. An unlikely alliance. He was different, and more so resembled the Mersat I've met external Tyria. So, yeah, what is that? Some at least, who can say? Mabone searched, but he stayed here all this time after all. Maybe they were not worth finding. Alright, interesting stuff. So, yeah, like there's, they could do a lot more. This is the kind of stuff they could do a lot more with. Like there's a lot of potential for the future. Oh dear.
This is me, Ray, reporting from our studio in UK. This reporter was recently given the impromptu opportunity to interview the famed Pack Commander during my first world tour. Their eyes, glossy as the Jade Sea, watched me with weariness. The catastrophe in Cantha was still heavy on their soul. We stood in their home, a residential district in Divinity's reach. The smells of urine and fresh bread competed for attention.
Tasty.
I asked their part in ending the dragon cycle. Hiding behind their famed veil of charm, they credited their allies. I also asked of their leadership, of which they were not shy. A hint of pride could be detected in their tone. We spoke further about the end of the dragon cycle. The commander was blunt. Had it not been ended, we wouldn't be here today. I asked what's next for the commander. With exhausted eyes, they shook their head like a child, frightened and uncertain. Near the end of our interview, the commander was pulled away in a frenzy of emotion. A letter fell into their lap as we spoke. They peeled it open with the precision of a hardened warrior. Delicate, but intentional. Their eyes glanced over the contents. Dread, but possibly a hint of warmth, brushed their cheeks before they looked to me. Sorry, was all they could mumble before leaving. While I wasn't able to ascertain their call to action, I can only assume they were pulled to the arms of another battle. Next up on the Tampa Report, I go head-to-head with Ritlock Brimstone, ally of the commander and tribune of the Blood Legion. Ritlock, how do you feel about the escalating calls for global unity following the death of Sue Wan?
Get that damn thing out of my face before I shove it!
Until next time, stay sharp, Tyria.
Alright. That's a little bit funny. Now, it is interesting that it appears that our choices at the beginning of the playthrough, and I didn't notice this on my main account because I didn't talk to all these people on my main account. It looks like the choices we made at the very beginning, where we chose like charm or dignity or ferocity, actually impacts this audio. So I will be interested to see when I play on other accounts whether or not that is the case, or if it just so happens that some of our choices aligned with that. Obviously, there was some stuff there that was kind of silly compared to, compared to other, like some things that are just plain silly. As far as the commander being, like kind of portraying the commander as, like childlike at one point, like kind of. But it is a little bit funny that they put that in there. I do wonder if in future releases we're going to get more of that, and instead of hearing updates on what we've been doing, we hear like the interview with Ritlock. I want to hear the interview with Ritlock. Zoja, how you hanging? How you doing, kid?
Hey, Commander. Can I borrow your comms device?
No.
Of course.
I haven't worked on one of these things in years. What is this? Did she add voice messages? Oh, timey.
Do you need any help working that?
Commander! What the heck? Where have you been? I've been trying to reach you for weeks. I hope whatever cave you've been hiding in at least it...
Hi, Timey. Timey?
Soja? Is that you?
Yeah, it's me. Hey, Commander. Could you give us a moment?
Wait, I want to listen in.
Yeah, I know.
Now, is that all we get? Let's go spy on Zoja. Yeah. We gotta act like we're not doing... Oh, is she gonna go straight into that rift with that thing? Oh, that's shenanigans. Okay, we don't get any more of that conversation. What a shame. Oh, wait, do we? There's like a thing that appears here. Where did this thing? Lore conversation? Or is it like right around this corner or something? No? Alright, I think we lost Zoja. We got more lore conversations in here. Oh, it's Camilla and Rian who sent us on all those horrible rifts, and Camilla who gave us the thing.
We're going somewhere cold after this. And on flat Earth.
Not warm? We could rent that little bungalow near the blood-type coast.
Don't you two look rested?
No, unfortunately. But we've got them on the back foot. I'm more worried for the mainland than Omnitas now.
Cryptids are still coming in from Nyos, but their numbers are weaker. Eparch is scared. Poor thing.
We don't want to assume, but things are looking up.
I'm just glad you're taking a moment for yourselves. Savor it.
Oh, we will. Planning our first vacation in, what, 7 years?
At least. The Ward has very strict rules for interacting with the rest of the world. But we could use a few days away.
Aw, aren't they cute? Alright. Oh, here's Dagda and Lear. Hey, guys.
So, any lingering reservations about our new friend here, Dagda? Last minute notes?
That twinkle in your eye. For what starless purpose would you ask such a question?
Oh, just stoking the forge. As always, you're so above it all.
Good of you to notice. I am grateful you gave me a chance to adjust. Much has changed, and quickly. It can be jarring for the eldest of us.
My history with immortal entities has been mixed. Here's hoping the whole Wayfinder thing is a good change.
If the heroes of this age are even half your measure, the court may even call on others in time. It may be inevitable.
Dagda.
I owe it to Mabon to try.
Oh yeah, so the commander, I forgot about this earlier. The commander mentioned my history with immortal entities has been mixed. And that reminds me, we heard Isgaren mention the arrival of the gods and like his regret in not turning them away because that caused problems. And subsequently he has turned away other entities that attempted to enter Tyria. So really, Isgaren like striking a blow against the idea of the gods as deities, but rather just, powerful beings such as him is really more what they look like. And probably he's glad that they're gone. This question, would the Wizards Court allow the gods to even return? Do they have the ability to stop them?
A well-fought victory, Wayfinder.
Impressive indeed, and you barely scuffed that perfect skin.
Speaking
I am
of
fabulous.
I agreed with Isgaren initially. You were too unpredictable a variable. I am rarely proven wrong.
I'm glad I proved trustworthy. So, what's next then?
There's still much to rebuild, physically and emotionally. I think I'll plan a memorial for Mabon.
He would appreciate that, my friend. I'll be restoring Omnitas's defenses.
Alright, well, I guess that's nice to get follow-up from them. What is that on the wall? Oh, they're pistols. Ah. Some devs spent like a whole bunch of time trying to get that just right. Pretty crazy, actually. Hopefully they're proud of it. Looks good. I mean, yeah. Wait. Oh, is there a conversation above me that I missed somehow or something? There's one conversation that like I can't figure out how to get to. Who do we got here? Hortensia, Narcisse, Ueno, and Frode.
Sit still, and this will go faster. If Arena were here, you know what she'd say.
Don't look at me. She already pinned me down to siphon away my blood for testing.
I am simply making sure that you are both at optimum health.
Don't let me interrupt.
Please, interrupt.
Not at all. You're next.
I'm sure the Wayfinder has places to be.
Behave. You're supposed to be a leader, Warden.
We've a moment to celebrate. Even you deserve to breathe a little for keeping us all in one piece.
Though, I could use a salve or two. That last battle reminded me that I am indeed no longer a student of the colleges.
Oh, I have something.
Rest, Wayfinder. I'm sure this calm is only temporary. When the sun rises, it'll be another day.
Indeed.
It's only a matter of time before we need to tell the rest of the world what happened here. So, kick your boots off.
I suppose we're going to have to tell them one way or another. In case it happens again.
For now, let yourself refuel. When I was a shaman...
Go, quickly, or he'll bore you to death with a monologue about the time he drank soured ale and saw Nut's face on every...
It's a good story.
Who am I to distract from the doctor's orders anyway? Narcisse, have at him.
Alright. Here we go. Richik and Gladium, our favorites. My favorites.
Wayfinder! Oh, come! glade speaks for us both, and it's especially good to see you. When Skrit woke up, the sky was red. Cryptus were... Well, Urchik should have known that the commander would prevail.
You really can drop the commander now, you know, Urchik.
Skrit will always honor the commander's legacy, even if they've begun a new one, or are about to begin another.
I guess I can't leave my past behind. But that's a much more complicated conversation.
Yes, one that we don't need to have.
Fighting with you both.
The honor was, and is, ours.
Alright, let's see if we can find our way to... Where is this, like, remaining... Is it up here somewhere? Not here. Did we miss somewhere way up there? Did Zoja finish her phone call?
Here's your comms device.
You two have a good chat?
Yeah, timing's great. Had a lot to say. Oh, she's grown up so much. Everyone is doing fine, huh? My mentee, helping to solve a national power crisis.
You okay?
Yeah, I am. I'm fine. I told her that I'm on my own adventure too, just like she is. She wanted details, of course, and I didn't offer much. I told her that I'm happy, though.
Was that enough for her?
Of course it wasn't, but she understands. She's off on a new journey, too. Everything is going to change again. But I think I'm okay with that. It doesn't mean I won't see them.
I'll be there to help you put names to faces.
Probably gonna need that. Wayfinder, thank you for being you. You've been through a lot. Just reflects on the good you've done.
Okay, well thanks for that, Zoja. You know, I do wonder if Zoja's, like, saying goodbye to the past is also in part to help the player rationalize, like, the departure of, you know, like, the characters from earlier in the game, and helping the player, like, be willing to move forward with, like, all new cast and crew like this. You know, is Broca Steel Trap and Stalwart Heart, like, more important than Bram now? Like, maybe, and maybe they should be. So, all right, so we did it. We have completed Secrets of the Obscure as it currently stands here in September 2023. So until they release some more, we are done with our story playthrough. So I appreciate you joining me for that. I do look forward to when the story continues, but it's going to be a little bit. And thus, we're going to go ahead and start 0 to 0 again and kind of do like a second round on that and pursue some more kind of account building. So that's what we got coming up in the future. But as for the story playthrough, we are temporarily done with that. So I appreciate you going on the ride with me, and I look forward to doing it again here in about 3 months. Thank you, and have a good time.